Today I'm going to be giving you my favorite lavaloon deck to use on ladder. I think it's very strong defensively, and it can turn into offensive counter pushes. It's a very fun deck to use, but it's also very defensive, so you have to learn how to play it properly, and hopefully I'm going to help you understand that today. Let's jump into the video. If you guys do enjoy this, I would love some support in the comments. Like, just let me know what I can do better. I do stream on Twitch every day, and that's more like upbeat and fun and stuff. Also, my chat is cancer, so I'd really love if some of you could come in and help deal with the Mongol troglodytes that are in the chat. Anyways, as you can see here, he goes in super aggressive in like the first freaking 20 seconds. And so we use a Lava Hound to tank here for his E-Dragon, because the E-Dragon, especially raged, causes havoc. And so what I'm able to do is utilize a bunch of my defensive units since his edrag is preoccupied, and so here we can go in with the minions because I know his edrag's about to die. And now that his edrag is dead, I know that the Egolem decks don't run double splash, so I can slap a Valkyrie in front of this. And with the elixir I got from the Golem, I can turn this into a really easy counter push takes tower because I knew he was low on elixir. And so those are kind of things you have to use with this deck. You have to make sure you know how much elixir he has, and also always make sure you go defense first. And depending on the scenario, maybe you go defense first and then you go with the Lava Hound in front of it. It depends really on the matchup, but definitely what I'm gonna say is don't go in too heavy. Like I see a lot of people who they like see a couple cards placed and they go in with the lavaloon, and then the opponent uses like a witch and or a wizard and something else, and they counter your whole lavaloon push, and then you get pissed because they're up 5 elixir. And the problem is, you know, this deck can't really handle that. You can't expect to play perfect defense after spending 12 elixir on a lavaloon push. And there I messed up because I thought the edrag was not going to be there. I thought he was going to keep chasing my lava hound. I tried the strategy again where I tanked for it, but it didn't work, sadly. However, we didn't go down too much elixir because as you can see, the Eagle gave me 4 elixirs, so when I should be down 4, I'm actually tied with him, which was really nice. And so, like I was saying, maybe try going with the Lava Mega Minion and space out your Mega Minion so that he can't splash the lava and the Mega Minion. That way you can kind of keep track of what cards he has, and that way you can then use your loon maybe opposite lane, or after you figure out what he has, you can use your fireball zap and stuff to deal with it. As you could see here, I knew that Egolem was going to give me a lot of elixir if I defended it, so I did my best to defend it, because now I can go in with another lava push, since that previous lava was just to sack damage. This one's actually going to be to get some damage here, and we go in. It doesn't amount in too much, but we were able to force out a healer, which was really nice because now the healer's almost dead, which means we can take it out much easier with our Valkyrie. And we did fireball the E-Dragon there because I want to deal with this E-Dragon as quickly as I can, because the E-Dragon is really the bane of my existence here in this matchup. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And now you can see this is where it starts to become problems for him. Finally, I get my first balloon down. I think it's the first balloon of the game, actually, after playing defense for a long time. So this deck really requires patience. I think you're going to make sure that your defense is the #1 priority for you here. And as you can see, now we're just about tied, and here we're kind of just overrunning him. He's got to spend an eagle on defense, and it's really not a good play, because we get a ton of elixir like almost immediately, and then we can just go in again. So as you can see, he tries to support a dead Egolem, and really we just fireball his E-Dragon, get rid of his healer, and the Inferno Dragon's kind of just a last second desperation play, and it doesn't matter because now I play a Lava Hound since I know his idrag is out of cycle, and it's just over. And this matchup becomes a little harder with arrows, but it's not too difficult because you can still use your Mega Minion and your Valkyrie, considering your Valkyrie doesn't get killed by like anything else in this deck. And now, as you can see, we're just overrunning him, and it's over from here, especially with the lava pup on the tower. So hopefully you can see there that we went in with a bunch of defense and then turned that into offense through counter pushes. Hopping into this next one here, this is cancer. This is literally mid-ladder cancer, so I'm very happy that I faced this. Was I happy at the time? No, but then I looked at the bright side of things and I was like, oh, okay, well, I could use this for a video. So I did. And the reason I use a Valkyrie in this deck is literally because of this I don't have a bad enough word to describe how much I hate Mega Knight Witch decks, but I do. But the Valkyrie is such a new player friendly counter to stuff like the Mega Knight, and even for players who don't understand interactions all that well, the Valkyrie is very nice because she can be used as mini tank as compared to the guards where, one spell or one splash unit, it's kind of over. And my favorite card, of course, as you know, if you're in my Discord server, my role is literally Mega Minion Simp because I love him so much. Him, her, it, they, them. I don't know. I literally don't know the Mega Minion's gender, but I mean, let's just call it a she. Anyways, join my Discord server, links in the description. Well, as you could see there, we just played as minimal, I want to say as much defense as we could for spending as little elixir as we could. We don't want to be worried about spending too much elixir, but I want to make sure, especially against decks with like Mega Knight or something, you never know until you've seen all of his 8 cards what he's running. So maybe it's Mega Knight E-Barb. So in that case, you want to save your ground counters always. What I'm saying is, like, if you know he has another ground tank you need to deal with, like maybe a mini P.E.K.K.A. or a Lumberjack or something like that, and he plays a Mega Knight, make sure you only use one ground counter. So don't use your Valkyrie for something other than the Mega Knight if the Valkyrie's your only reliable counter to the Mega Knight. That's pretty much my tip there. But also, when you don't go lava in the back first play, or like lava at all, you can kind of match his elixir. So like, he's never going to be up elixir if you don't lava. So like you can handle pretty much everything he does as long as you don't overspend. With like maybe the Mega Knight, for example, we can Valkyrie Mega Minion if I needed to. And there the witch dies, and I didn't even have to use my zap, so that was very nice there. I tried to zap this E-Wizard, I think, but I didn't get the results I wanted. But anyways, we're up so much damage at this point. It's not a big deal. And I used the Valkyrie and the Mega Minion there to just wrap it up. And also I knew that maybe that was a little too much on offense, but if you look at it, he spent 7 elixir, and I also spent 7 elixir. So it's not really a bad trade, especially considering that I'm about to use these units on a push. And so we do go with the zap there just to get the witch out of the way, because I'm thinking if we can avoid the witch chip on my lava hound, maybe the lava hound could take that tower, and all I have to focus on is defense. Goes with the arrows there. I don't care. And this makes it, very nice in my opinion. Oh, that was also a sexy Valkyrie hit. Sexy Valkyrie and sexy Valkyrie hit. Okay, I'm not into redheads, but the Valkyrie's just kind of... Does the Valkyrie make me drool? No. Anyways, we've got a weird Goblin Giant matchup here, which is like Earthquake. It's like, what? I don't actually know, like, if this is worse. I think this is worse, because normal Gob Giant matchups, when you face them, they don't have big spells. So for them to have Earthquake is just kind of scary, in a sense. But I think the Earthquake is replacing Rage in this matchup, so I don't know which I'd rather have. So the Earthquake gets rid of my only good, reliable counter to his Goblin Giant. And I say that because with the Skeleton Dragons, they're kind of splashing and stuff, but the minions, they just die to a zap and the Spirit Goblin hits. However, the minions are cheaper and they attack faster, so if you play them right, you're able to get more value out of them than you would originally think. And so that's very nice, because trying to put this in perspective, as you can see there, we counter pushed really hard because we didn't spend too much elixir, and that's another key to using minions. The minions are so cheap, and they get so much value for such cheap elixir cost, and it's just great. And what I'm trying to say is the minions, if he arrows them, it's a 3 for 3, and plus the arrows come out usually kind of slowly, so this is kind of going to lead into another tip, but the minions just get so much DPS so fast that oftentimes all you need is that 1 second of minions DPS, because I always pair my minions with something else. Like I said, you never want to go lava in a position where you'd have to be low on elixir, and so you could use the Mega Minion and the minions, and that's only 6 elixir, so that could counter a big chunk of pushes, because pushes usually consist of heavy elixir cost. And so the minions and the Mega Minion are very nice indeed, because you can combine both of them, and you kind of don't really have to worry about cycling back to them, because if you really need an air counter that bad, you probably shouldn't be using them. But if you do, you can just pull with the tombstone. And this deck is cheap enough that you can kind of cycle pretty fast, especially since, you know, you have a bunch of 3 elixir, 3 elixir, 3 elixir, 2 elixir. It's not that heavy of a cycle. And so usually, as you will see here, I don't really use the Valkyrie on his big tanks. That's not my strategy here. The Valkyrie is more better used to wrap up stuff that he uses on pushes. And I'm sorry, I misphrased it. The Valkyrie's better to use like lone stuff, because in a matchup like this one where I'm needing the tombstone to deal with this Goblin Giant, I'm not going to be able to use the tombstone for things like the mini P.E.K.K.A. So therefore I have to use the Valkyrie. And here it doesn't really matter because as you can see, we went opposite lane at a good enough time because I knew that I would be able to defend his stuff. And so yeah, that's a pretty good matchup. I like that definitely. Let's jump into one last one. It's almost become like a ritual now that I include me beating Queen Hogs in my game. And it's kind of the first step of verifying your lava deck. Is my lava deck good? Can it beat Queen Hogs? Probably. If it can, you're probably off to a good start. But if it can't, that's an issue because Queen Hogs is one of the most popular decks in the entire game. For good reason too. It's a little bit busted. And lava is really only... I'm talking about classic lava here. I haven't had enough experience with the lavaloon miner and just lava miner in general. Nick says it's a bad matchup. So it probably is then not the easiest matchup to face with lava miner. So lavaloon being one of the only decks aside from Mega Knight bridge spam that reliably counter this deck, that's kind of huge. And so it's very nice to be on that like part of the meta where, you know, you actually beat one of the best decks consistently. Flashbacks to the drill meta and stuff like that. Anyways, this matchup is just redundant, I feel like. All you have to do is make sure you get a lavaloon pushed down. Don't play your loon until you know his queen can't lock onto your loon. And if he does, just go in with like the mega minion or something else because his queen will be out of cycle. Now he can't do anything. And with the defending hogs, it's really just elixir. I mean, you could theoretically spend minions, guards, and a tombstone on a hog EQ push. Hog's EQ push and only be down 1 elixir. So it's like, okay. It sounds like a lot, but it's a lot of elixir he's spending for a Hog's EQ. So you've got to make sure that you just deal with that accordingly. Don't be scared to spend more than the guards. That's definitely also for every matchup, really. Don't be scared to spend more elixir than you think is worth it, you know, because oh, I don't want to spend more than the guards because that's a lot of elixir. You have guards and minions. That's only a combination of 6 elixir, and like I said earlier, a lot of pushes are more than 6 elixir, so don't be scared to use your units as long as you're making sure that you're not like using all your ground units when you need them for like a Mega Knight or something. As you can see there, I fireballed because I want to not take that tower. I mean, it was already over at this point. I feel like it was over on the first push of the game, but you got to be kind of careful. It's just routine. I feel like me beating Queen Hogs. I haven't lost the Queen Hogs in a very long time, although I'm still rusty against Queen. So general Queen tips, you know, make sure that this is my go-to, is that if another unit is closer to the queen than my balloon, and my balloon is locked on to the queen, then, or the queen is locked on to the balloon, then what you can do is just zap the queen and it'll retarget on the closest unit. So that can be used to be really clutch sometimes. Anyways, if you enjoyed that video, please let me know, because that would be awesome. Also, comment, like, sub, join our Discord, join our stream, follow me on Twitter, follow me on TikTok, subscribe, follow, share, and I'll see you guys all next time.